Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody in there? Just yell if you can hear me. Is there anybody home? Relax, relax, relax. Just a little pinprick. Wow, that's a lot of oil. Still a lot of oil. Okay, let's try that. We are live in my kitchen, and good morning. 48 seconds. That's a good timing, Sally Smith. Air-cooled accountability. I am trying something absolutely new, and you two are the first two people in CutThePlastic's recorded history to say hello live on a StreamYards broadcast. I was talking with Friends in Code last night, Diana, and Central Michigan. Good morning. And after Eric reaffirmed what Friends was telling me, I really decided that it was time to break down. I figured that if Justin Emo could use a stream platform on television and create news, then I could too. Love that guy. So, is Eric's court going to be live today? If there's court for Eric, then I'm going to assume it's live. He didn't tell me there was court, and there's so much stuff going on. Let's talk about what's going on in as I experiment with some of this stuff. So we're going to start with sharing this video screen, and I hope you can see it. There it is. Look at that. I want you to see and experience city council meeting. This is Denver 8, and y'all need to know that if you want to watch the mayor and the yellow city council activities, you can do that.
Good morning, Amanda Sawyer, District 5. Good morning, Kendra Black, District 4. Good morning, Stacey Gilmore, District 11. Jamie Torres, District 3. Good morning, Ron.
And I don't have to be there. And city council meetings?
Let's go ahead and get started with city council.
I hope you can hear this.
I guess I'm presenting 20-0536 submits to the voters of Denver the power for city council to approve and confirm mayoral departmental appointees.
Any questions? Thank you. Councilman Cashman, sorry about that. Welcome. Thank you, Councilwoman Sawyer. Community Planning and Development.
Okay, so that just happened. And basically what that just did was it gave our city council the right to thumbs up or thumbs down appointees. And it's got to go through the process of being voted on, I think, or maybe it was put on the process and it's completed its cycle, actually. I am cooking, so we got to stay focused. So what that did is that it actually created some new and amazing and fun stuff in our city. And I want you all to know that it is so going down that I can't keep up with it. So we're going to show you some more things that I've been reading and paying attention to this morning before we get to the real big juicy stuff. And for those of you who are here, for some reason my live chat on my phone isn't actually showing me how many people are here this morning. I want you to see this screen. This is the Denverite. And last night in Denver, the residents of the city shut the fucking shit down. Okay? Straight up and really. We shut it down. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to follow some things, and I'm going to come back to this video. Juice Man, did you watch the 6 hours of parents and families giving their testimony to city council or to the state legislature that I broadcast? People like Timmy Henley mom, Sabrina, who didn't get to testify, and others like the family of Joe Valverde, who didn't get to testify, while people like excuse me, like Vicky Trujillo and the family of Elijah McClain and Michael Marshall did get to speak on this topic. And we've got to watch for at least 20 seconds. Come on, Brian. You know the rules here. So we're gonna go back to this article because it's super important, and I want you guys to stay woke. And I have to work today. Last night in Denver, yours truly was making masks. Then he went out to protest, hang out behind City Council, because that's where they were hanging out. Why were they hanging out? Because inside they overtook City Council. Now you have to remember that very recently, very recently, Extinction Rebellion had a silent protest in chambers of City Council, and they wrote a whole new book of rules on decorum. And last night they threw them right out the door. So it's not up and available yet, but we see here our members for the Party of Socialism and Liberation. They give us our harvest reparations people. I see members of Occupy Denver. I see members of We the People, Denver Homeless Out Loud. In that photograph right there alone. Now, David Sachs is a friend of mine, regularly attends city council meetings as part of his gig. He's not only a reporter for the Denverite, but recently the Denverite got bought by or acquired by Colorado Public Radio. So they're now CPR representatives, and I think that's really awesome. The public comment section of these hearings, and this was beautiful. If you've watched my video when I carried a bullet shot by the cops, by the way, I looked at Otto the Watchdog on Sunday, and I looked at his body, and I saw where one of those rounds hit him. He has a mark, an cyst forming weeks afterwards. So just before the legislative meeting was set to begin at 5:30, a crowd rushed the chambers and chanted, "Defund DPD." The group, which included members of the Party for Socialism and Liberation, demanded control of the microphone, and President Joe Clark and his colleagues acquiesced, giving them free rein and throwing out the 3 limit and decorum rules. Damn, I'm sad I missed it. And I'm going to tell you what else happened last night, folks. They denied other people access to that meeting. That wasn't a meeting for all people who showed up to attend, because the people outside the building, they tried to get in and they were denied access. And it wasn't until I asked a Denver sheriff's officer why the public meeting was closed to the public that they went around and opened the building, not telling anybody that they had reopened the building, and then requiring us to find out basically when city council was over. In city council last night, which we have not had a chance to personally watch, but we've talked to a lot of people, the Denver police are taking peace officers out of the schools and replacing them with probation officers. What's wrong with you people? Are you reading the article? By the way, I'm trying to keep scrolling it so that you can. William Dubois was just shot in the back by a peace officer, and the Denver district attorney chose to file no charges, no review in the middle of this thing that's going on in our world right now. So, city council shut it down, huh? There's more people. Desmond Manning, Marvin Booker, Jessica Hernandez, Paul Childs, Ryan Ronquillo. Why doesn't Joe Valverde's name get added to that list? I want to tell you about Joe Valverde. Because he's just another human being. People who use chemicals or enjoy their them with their friends, are just supposed to be normal people, right? If you go to the liquor store and you buy a 12-pack of beer and a bottle of tequila, you sit out on your porch and you share it, you're not a drug dealer. If you buy an 8-ball of cocaine and share it with your friends, you're a drug dealer. I did cocaine. I'm a recovered crack cocaine addict. I think they've really criminalized some of that stuff, and it's really hard for me to focus on some of this stuff. So when the Denver Police's task force killed somebody because he wanted an 8-ball and they tried, they told him to buy an ounce, and so he came for an ounce, and then when they tried to arrest him for an ounce, they killed him instead. Shit's fucked up and stuff, folks. Right? So we'll see the names of Michael Marshall and William Dubois, Marvin Booker and Jessica Hernandez, and Paul Childs. Right? Paul Castaway is another name we need to be talking about. What's wrong with you people? He had a knife to himself. De-escalation techniques much? Mental health solutions? I just keep going on and on about this stuff. And here's why I keep going on about this stuff. I want you guys to follow Denverite. It's really important. They're really good people. And they put out some really good stuff. Rest in peace, Paul Castaway, says Ross Q. Woke Soul Denver. Man, thank you. Denver voters will decide if the city council can hire outside consultants to help it make decisions. The DIA contract, accusations of sexual harassment against Michael Hancock, has prompted this ballot measure. Oh, yeah, there's a lot that stays woke and that goes down. And good morning, Janet Manson and Stephanie London, Graham Guillotard, everybody that's in there this morning. Fireworks complaint calls are way up. I have nothing. I have no knowledge about fireworks in the city and county of Denver. But what I will tell you is that they are going off on a daily basis. If you go down to the direct action training in Denver that occurs every night in Denver, 7, 8 o'clock, when you get done with work, it's time to show up. Go hang out, go interact, go meet people in the community who are holding it down, right? And then tell others to come join me, right? I don't know. I hope you can see that I'm cooking breakfast. So there's a lot of news going on, but you haven't read this one yet, and you need to read this one because I'm now famous. And I don't know. Let's see. We're going to stop sharing the Denverite. And I forget that I've actually got to go do it because I'm new to Screen Labs here for some part. I need to share this screen with you. And this one's going to just get you rolling. I mean, this perspective is something that you just got to understand. If you don't do these things, there's tools that we need to be teaching you to do. One of the tools that you need to do is you need to have a Google search or whatever it is about yourself. So that every day in the world, when shit happens, you get the message that they're talking about you. It's important. It's important as eggs and cheese in your breakfast dish, okay? As Colorado drifts left, Democrats fear blowback from Wayne Laugesen. And I want you people to start finding this guy. Because if there's Court and Eric's in it, then we need to find out about that. But I didn't get any messages about that yet. So let me check the screen. The heat on the veggies. Janet, can you just tell us, is Eric in court this morning? Let's find out what's going on. I don't think they can do sentencing on Eric today if he's not allowed to physically be in the courtroom. I'm not sure on the status. I just don't know. But what I do know is what I want you. I gotta go to work. I got time not for that. If Eric's in court, Eric might be broadcasting his court date, and somebody can go to Eric's channel and just check and post a link here if he is. Or Watchdog News Network would be another one that does that. What I want to focus on real quickly is this perspective. And this is just like shitty, right? This is police officers using pepper spray as they try to disperse people during a protest in Minneapolis on Sunday. Protests were held in lots of cities. This is the Gazette, by the way, folks, and I want to give you a trigger warning right now because this is also a call to action. The Gazette is a Colorado Springs newspaper. It is a right-wing newspaper. And they have said some scurrilous things today. So scurrilous that we have to actually reach out to them and demand that they either provide direct evidence of every quote, that they do a direct interview with me, or that they redact what's in this article. You're gonna be blown away. It's actually not too bad, but it's what they said about me is totally wrong. So socialists have big hopes for Colorado. They want a revolution by any means necessary. I feel like I'm a little moody today. We have a door-to-door ground game, which is true. This is true. Voters and activists that are left-wing and right-wing, they have door-to-door ground games. It's absolutely true. The expectation is that if you want to get out the vote, if you want to create real and lasting change anywhere, you have to have a door-to-door ground game. You have to be able to go out into the park and reach the voter. You have to be able to go out into the world and tell people stuff is fucked up. Shit is fucked up and stuff. It is. Tell me how so. Well, they'd like to say our agenda is straightforward, that it includes, as the article says, community ownership of private property and end to restrictions on living in tents and shanties on public property. We're advocating for radical transformation of the private economy. And some of these are true, and it just depends on how it's perceived in there. But it gets better. In response to the killing, open borders. That's it, automatically. One thing, just two words. Like, can you see how this is written immediately as an opinion by the editorial director of the Gazette to trigger people where they are? And so I don't talk about open borders personally. I believe that people in Mexico should have a right to live in Mexico, and the U.S. should maybe not invade Mexico. My opinion. Garlic and a little heat. Okay, so we got the dinner rolling here. Breakfast. In response to the killing of George Floyd, the movement advocates for a society without law enforcement. That's really, really interesting because I don't agree with that. I think that we are wanting to defund activities that don't require the use of force and a gun on your hip, right? So if you're going to go clean the garbage in the neighborhood where the unhoused people are, keep it in the budget. Keep it in the budget to do so in a socially responsible manner that isn't abusive to the people who are already struggling, right? Because quite honestly, I don't want my sidewalks full of tents. I don't want that. What I want is every one of those people who live in a tent or less to have some sort of security like I have. I have the mental capacity to work for my provisions, right? I have the profound sense of a spiritual awakening that demands that no matter how exhausted I am, I keep going into it. And it's weary. Ask Eric Brandt how tiring it can be to fight in all the time. I need to update my browsers to Brave, and I just need like wipe this unit, but it's got so much data on it. I got to transfer it. There's so much stuff that needs to be done in this world, people. Why can't we just figure that out? So let's stay on this because this picture is just killing me, and I don't know what it is, and I don't want to look at it anymore. The movement's leaders want rent-free social housing for the destitute and homeless. Well, I'm going to end this stream soon because Eric's going to be in court. Maybe I'll just go to Pikes Peak and rebroadcast him. Everybody else does, right? We're just waiting on the judge. No. Lacey, thank you. But we're going to send Eric and everybody over to that feed, everybody to Eric's feed over there, Pikes Peak. And I'm going to stay on this topic and you can double stream, and I'm going to get off of it in a minute anyway. I want to focus on this, and then I need to eat breakfast and go to work. So the movement has helped to elect people. We got to get this Democratic governor from the 80s. He's struggling because he was governor and things were different 30 years ago, right? 33 years ago. So every house needs a door and every country needs a border, he said. Okay, so you see what I did? See what they did there? They said that the governor of the Democratic Party, they keep bringing up this open borders issue. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh, yeah, my breakfast is good. Thick and juicy with onions and mushrooms. And taking this good issue about how people should have equality in every country, access to water, things like that. They're great discussions, but you see what they're doing by talking about this border issue in the way that they are is they're denying like the climate realities and the issues that surround climate migration, but we'll get into that another day. This is a big article, folks. I want to just take it to the point. Comply or we will destroy you. There it is. Where is it at? Aha. Comply or we will destroy you. The more militant factions of the socialist movement use force tactics to obtain written compliance for those who disagree with anything goes camping on public property. No, I'm not a socialist. However, the popular corner bakery cafe is a topic of this article. Occupy Denver is an activist organization that supports Democratic Socialist City Councilwoman Candice Tabaka. In comparison to Albus Brooks, of course we do. What's wrong with you people? Albus Brooks helped push the urban camping ban, the law that caused a doubling of reported rapes. It contributed toward it. It may not be the sole cause, but it's definitely a contributor. So when we look at these things and we see the kind of bullshit that they're spreading around, we know why we want to go to Eric's court date, right? Can't do everything everywhere, but you can go live to Eric Brandt and you can listen to me rant at the same time and wait for him to come up. But here's what I want to say. Activists claim the business supported the city's camping ban. Of course we did. Actually, we said more than that. And this is what I want to challenge. The Gazette needs to recognize and actually state some facts here, in my opinion. We claimed that the corner bakery was selling food to homeless people who pay for food in part to eat and in part to have something to drink and a bathroom to use. Because on the 16th Street Mall and in most of Denver, period, there's no public bathrooms. Union Station, you have to pay to be in that place now, right? You're going to have a bus ticket, even though it's a public property. Okay? So they said that I said, quote, I think it's clear that the 16th Street Mall and the business improvement districts that have appeared in the last decade or so are taking space away from lower income communities, said Brian Loma of Occupy Denver, speaking to the Gazette. That sounds like something I may have said. Because they have taken space from the poor, Loma argues, they must support the decriminalization of camping. That I did not say. Okay? What I want to see from the Gazette is that. Because if they resist, they should pay, is what he's saying I said. That the radical is the norm in contemporary policy making. That free market capitalism is radically abusive to people on the lower rungs of the socioeconomic ladder. So the public should be open to radical tactics designed to force change. That's some fucked up shit. Did I really say that? I don't think I did. And that's why I'm pontificating today. Because Unsub Press, I want you to know that Eric might be in court right now. Well, then, I just want to tell you that J.C. Truman, that was not what my page is about. Because they're taking space from the poor. Listen, what I'm saying isn't that they're taking space from the poor. I'm saying that they're criminalizing people for breathing, for being alive. Okay? I don't think that radical tactics for free market capitalism, I don't know what that is. But we did tell Cutter that we would not stop boycotting his business until he looked at creating changes. And what people don't know is that when we took the camera off, this is why you always record. When we took the camera off Jimmy Cutter and we sat down inside the corner bakery and we had a chat with the business owner, and he cried tears, and he fired his manager. All these things that happened that are factual basis that he didn't know. At least I'm pretty sure the manager was fired. That might not be true. But he didn't know that I walked in the door nicely and I handed a letter. I said, I'm concerned about some things. We want to talk to you. Right? Because the first methodology isn't to go yell at somebody's face all the time. Sometimes you have to. Okay? But not all the time. And so we actually went to Jamie Cutter and said, this is what we hear, what we're being told your staff's doing. Here's a letter. Contact us. And the manager didn't give a fuck. Right? Because the manager was complicit. Yep. I'm kicking the homeless out after I sell them food. My numbers are good. I got the sales. Because all these other people are coming here and eating too. And they don't want to see somebody with 3 backpacks, 1 backpack, even maybe too many, who wants to use the bathroom next to them and eat their food and drink like a human being. What kind of crazy dystopic world do we live in? We can't have those who don't have a house eating with those who have a house in the same space. Or maybe it's those who have a shower and those who don't have a shower. So Cutter, who donates $25,000 to the homeless every year as a tax write-off for the extra food that is cooked and not sold by his business, and donates that to a very honorable and necessary charitable program called We Don't Waste, who do great work, right? Don't knock, we don't waste. They're amazing people. He wrote a letter. Says he doesn't support it. I'm going to tell you what. The Jesus in me is really angry right now. And I need some more cheese. That's the wrong one. Did I say the cheese is in me? The Jesus in me. Because Jesus, there's a lot of cheese. But no, seriously. if you have a problem with somebody writing a letter and saying that the morality is a conversation that I agree with, look, the idea that Tammy Dorr and the Downtown Denver Partnership, this $50 billion tax bracket, is implicitly involved, implicit bias. Oh, they look dirty, they smell dirty because they might not have a shower and a bathroom to use on a regular basis, and they've got mental health issues and struggles. People don't choose to be homeless and poor automatically because most people are born in a building, in a hospital. Some are born in a barn, others in their homes. Doulas exist, right? Midwives and all that jazz. But in this world and in this day and age, we can't have that. So we're going to have white people like Eric Brandt who speaks, be persecuted because he's got nothing to do with his time but say, hey, shit's fucked up and stuff, and draw a crowd, right? So let's draw a crowd to this kind of conversation. They're libelous, okay? I did not say, in my opinion, that the radical free market and capitalism, radical. I don't use those words generally, okay? We asked him to sign a letter that he created to himself, and this is a narrative that is always jacked up because CBS 4 continues to be used, but they hid the story about us, and we were talking about the urban camping ban and homelessness in the election because the Downtown Denver Partnership told them they couldn't use it. True story. I got that on video. Anyway, I got 15 minutes till my boss is here. Or my ride, I should say. So he wrote the letter to save his business. Oh, wait, is there still a protection order on Eric Brandt? Because Eric had hot water dumped on his feet? Are we going to trial? Is that what's going on in court today? I don't know. Too many cases, too many instances of oppression. And yes, qualified immunity in the state of Colorado is gone in many circumstances, but not all. So, in an organized and civil society, we should not have an organization that torments a small business. No. You're not a small business when you have 4, 6, 8, 10 locations. You're franchised. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong screen. So the Gazette, this is Pulitzer Prize winning journalism that was established in 1872. I'm not a socialist. I don't actually advocate for completely flow of open borders. Because then our federal government wouldn't be able to do things like traffic heroin and cocaine. It's only because of a closed border that we're allowed to do those things as a government, as a country. I mean, seriously, right? You've got to stay woke on these things. So there's more. I want you to go read it. I want you to comment. I want you to yell at Wayne Lageson to reach out to me because this is my effort to get you guys to do something today. Eric's up first. Okay, so I guess we better go find Pikes Peak. That's not easy. Okay. So you can go to Pikes Peak Auditor, or we're going to try this experiment. Where, I don't know how this works, so we're going to see how it works. It's loading. By the way, there's a website, denvergov.org. You can get Channel 8 there. The blurring of death. Let's shut off a device. It's loading. My computer might not manage it. You might have to go to Pikes Peak Auditors. As a matter of fact, that's what we're going to do. I don't have the bandwidth right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all 27 of you who are here right now, thanks for hanging out still. I'm going to end this broadcast because I've said what I want to say. I'm not a socialist, right? But that article is really good because what it says is that if we blues push too hard, the reds are going to fight back and take it all over. Okay? Citizen Z, Unsub, Steve G, Juiceman, everybody. Steve, the deal is that it passed. Senate Bill 2020-17 or 217 says that you cannot have qualified immunity all the times. So, everybody, I want you to go to Pikes Peak Auditors. Oh, here we are. I lied.
Mr. Brand affirms that a date available on his calendar. Mr. Burton.
Yes, I put on a calendar in for 2 days.
It looks as if my thing with Eric in court is lagging.
Mr. Burton, say that one more time, please.
That is fine. I have it in my calendar for 2 days.
Thank you. Anything else for the record on 18 GF 014389 on behalf of the defense?
No, thank you.
On behalf of the prosecution, anything else for the record?
Your Honor, I'm checking with Ms. Cho. I'm not sure if she's been admitted. I think she has, but I think she's on hold. But I'll let the court know if we have anything else.
Well, the most important thing is that that is the date available on your calendar, Mr. Salomon.
Yes, I believe it is, Judge.
All right, folks. Well, you saw that live. That was Pikes Peak Auditors broadcast of Eric Brandt's court. And as I travel through the house to my messy bedroom, I just want to remind you all that it's time to take action. Today is the 23rd of June. And there was no audio. Okay. Sorry, I muted my mic so that I wasn't talking, but I guess that muted the screen end also. I'm learning these things. It's my first day ever using this platform. And so, again, for those of you who followed, and I see Pikes Peak is in here, thank you, Pikes, for broadcasting the court dates. I didn't have the capacity to stop at that point, so I'm glad I got to do my first rebroadcast of somebody else in my first live stream broadcast. Man, it's all happening so fast on StreamYards. I see that there's a Moody Defender out there, and you guys should check that page out. You did have audio on your channel. It is absolutely my fault. I muted my microphone because I was talking to my roommate and other things like that. So yes, the app Jamie Dietz. And so what we need to do is we need to be continuing to reach the courts, and that is the Supreme Courts. That is the head of the 2nd Judicial District, which I think Denver is. The people who wrote judicial orders 1901 and 1902. And we need to inform them that their mandate is that since they have established public communications of these court dates, that even into August, after they have started letting people back into the buildings, allegedly, they have to keep them live, right? The new normal in this society due to COVID, we have to make sure that it is live broadcasts of court dates, every court date all the time, hold the system accountable, okay? It's a mandate. You and I must demand these things or we're going to lose them, okay? And that's the simple thing. So as I get ready for my day and head out, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm not a socialist. I'm a Christian, okay? Do the next right thing and do unto your brother that which you would want done to yourself, okay? I want you all to check out our website. Let's see if I can type it in there. comasqueraid.org. For all of you who have supported us through getting the masks out, getting them to the nurses, getting them to people. My buddy and I partnered up. We're running a full-time Donkey is in the crew. And I don't know who Jenny Truman is, but you might have to get silenced shortly. I don't BDSM. Oh, nice. I could probably make a ball gag mask if you wanted one. So it covers the nose, so they can't breathe out of it, but there's still a ball gag. I consider Colorado Donkey Watch part of the Denver crew. The lawyers that I have to contact very shortly today who are involved with these videos. Here's the deal, folks. The first 5-6 days, my videos of George Floyd, Donkey Watch, everybody else, Ghost Rider, the Colorado Lookout, Out of the Watchdog, Pikes Peak Auditors, Silent Citizen, ZFG, all of us and all of you who are live in the city and county of Denver, or your video is wanted. And no, Jenny, I absolutely would tell you that somebody needs to just delete that woman right now. because Colorado Donkey Watch and I talked yesterday, and we're friends. And unsub, you have the power to mute that person. I don't want those lies being told about my friend, who absolutely respects and loves and gives us as much respect as we give him. Right? He stood up and fought, and he's not he's not like that. Anyway, you distracted too long from my conversation. The point of this is that change has to happen, sustained change. The courts need to be open to the public by video forevermore. They need to stop taking guns to clean up the trash. Leave your guns at home, right? That's the message. Masquerade, masqueraid.org will get you to see some of our masks. I got to go grab one on my way out the door. But here's one of the fun prints that's available. These owls for teachers, maybe going back to school. That's a great design right there. Something fun at the orthopedics, at the dentist. I make medical grade masks that are autoclavable, and that's what we're going to go do. Avi Rico, there's a man who's got a mask. Gotta bless you. Gotta love you. Good to see you. And again, I'm going to work. You all have a wonderful day. I'm out of here.